second one's not ready yet.
Good evening. I'd like to call the Water Pollution Control Authority and regular Town Council meeting of North Branford, Connecticut to order on Tuesday, March 19th in Town Council chambers at 6:33. Please stand for the salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. We have roll call, please.
Mayor Angeloni.
Present.
Councilor Abelson.
Here.
Councilor Diamond.
Here.
Councilor Gold.
Here.
Councilor Miller.
Here.
Councilor Palladino.
Here.
Councilor Panicia.
Here.
And Councilor Santana.
Here.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is minutes of previous meeting. Do I hear a motion to accept the February 20th, 2024 special WPCA and Town Council meeting?
So moved, but I have one correction.
Okay.
Well, I guess I'll wait for the second.
Second.
Okay, on the town manager report, on this third paragraph, where it says, going to give excellence and innovation, a community partner, it says awkward, I think you mean award to the Potato Fest. That's my only correction.
That's your correction, okay. All right. Any other discussion? Okay. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. The next is, do I hear a motion to approve the minutes of the March 5th, 2024 special town council meeting?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. The last minutes are from March 12th, 2024. Do I have a motion to approve the special meeting town council for the 8 p.m. meeting?
So moved.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Abstain.
One abstention. Okay, motion carries. Now we're going into the Water Pollution Control Authority agenda. First item, correspondence and citizen statements regarding the WPCA. Seeing none, we'll go on to item 4, unfinished business. Request to connect to sanitary sewers at 832 East Main Street, Branford, Boston Post Road, map 3C, lot 17.
Good evening. Victor Benny, Town Engineer. Since our last meeting, the application did go through the Town of Branford WPCA approval process, and you should have a letter in your packet from the Branford Town Engineer dated March 5th, 2024, which indicates the Branford WPCA approval and the positive referral back to the North Branford WPCA. The property owner will be required to go into a separate agreement with the Town of Branford WPCA as part of the connection process. Our current regulations do require the special connection fee again be set at $12,300. That's per age restricted residential unit, and again, this is a existing single family dwelling that's being proposed to connect. And I did include, hopefully in your packet there, a suggested motion for you folks to consider for a hopeful approval.
Yes. Okay. So the suggested motion is on page 31 of our packet. So do I hear a motion?
So moved to accept the motion on page 31.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Okay. No new business listed. Any citizen statements and petitions regarding the WPCA? Okay, moving on in the agenda, we are going to move item 9A and B, community events and presentations, up to the beginning of the regular town council meeting. So we have two very nice events that we are going to be recognizing tonight, presentations. So the first is the presentation of the ARPA fund for nonprofit checks, and we have two organizations that we approved at our last meeting. So for picture taking, I think to make it the ease of it, I'll go out front and have the recipients come up, but if the council members can just stay behind the dais and kind of stand so that you're all in the picture, that would be great, and we don't have to keep going back and forth on that. So the first presentation is to the Totucket Historical Society.
Taking pictures, yeah. It's not that kind of picture.
You need to freshen up a little bit.
Yeah, sure. Okay, I'm ready. Just gonna need a cigarette.
Should we stand? Rose, you want us to stand?
Yes.
Yeah, bounce it off good.
All right.
Get a little closer.
Well, now I really.
Ready on three. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Beautiful.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
The check is in the pot. I don't know if it'll fit through the checks.
Yeah, it's on its way.
Finance is cutting a real one, obviously. Don't stick that in a bank drawer.
Okay, and is there, I want to hear from the sound of UI.
There we are.
Okay.
Good, not as many Chelseas.
Okay. Here we go.
Ready on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Now we have the other awards. The other awards.
Other words. Coming back and doing more work up there.
We have, yeah, we're gonna do recognition
Come back, gentlemen.
Okay, so the next segment presentation is recognition of retirement. So the first one that we have, recognition of retirement, is for Fire Chief William H. Seward III. He served from January 18th, 2005 to December 31st, 2021. The town extends thanks to you for your 16 years of dedicated service on the occasion of your retirement. Please accept our appreciation for your countless contributions and commitment to service on behalf of the citizens of North Branford over your distinguished tenure. Chief Stewart, would you?
That's Chief.
You need it.
I can't see Ron.
Bring it in, Ron.
Up a little bit here. You can-
There you go.
Smile, Bill.
Ready on 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. North Branford's advanced photographers.
1987 to April 4th, or April 11th, 2024, also known as Miss Donna. The town extends thanks to you for your 37 years of dedicated service on the occasion of your retirement. Please accept our appreciation for your countless contributions and commitment to service on behalf of the citizens of North Branford over your distinguished tenure. Congratulations. Okay.
There we are. All right. I moved, I don't know. I'll come over. You know I like you. You smell good.
Those are always the fun things from the town council. So everyone is welcome to stay for the meeting if you would like. If you don't, we will not be offended. If you would like to take this opportunity to leave, you are more than welcome.
I'm highly offended. I'm highly offended if you leave.
Okay. So now we are going to move on. Okay, so we are going to move back to item 7, reports of committees, boards, and commissions. First item is economic development.
I have no.
Okay. Next one is Park and Recreation. Their February meeting was canceled due to lack of quorum. Their next meeting is next Tuesday, the 26th. Police Commission.
Now I can spend a lot of time because I have a lot of things to talk about.
That's great.
There was a police commission meeting on March 11th. First thing were some issues that were shared in terms of problems with construction of the new facility, and those were given to the building committee. Chief Lovelace met with Representative Candelora to discuss a grant where the police department will receive $60,000 for speed enforcement on rural roads. That will happen until May 31st. The chief is also looking into, I don't know if people have noticed around the town, there were these big stop signs all of a sudden, double stop signs. Well, somehow the state put those up and no one seems to know yet, and he's looking into that and we'll report back to the police commission on that. Chief is also I think was really nice, he set up an honor guard for former police commission chair Dan Triano, which I think was a very nice thing that he did. He also anticipates a shortfall in the overtime account because of the many injuries within the department. The commission then approved a request to purchase 14 portable radios at a cost of $4,667 for use by Park and Rec when they have various department functions. And that will come out of the original money for the communications, so it's not coming out of our regular town budget. Just so people know, the license plate readers that were approved by the council through ARPA funds have been placed, well, there's one in North Branford and there's one in Northford. Probably people are looking for where they are. There is one in each area. And I think there, in a couple days, there were like 4,000 of them read on someplace in North Branford. And the last thing is, there were interviews this week for the integrated police operations manager and for the deputy police chief, and I think there are 3 of us from the town council who will be participating in that.
Okay.
That's my report.
All right, thank you. Next one is Fire Commission.
Fire Commission, okay, we met recently on the 7th of March, went through several recognitions, one to Town Line Wine and Spirits, which purchased an item. Anthony, what was the item again that was part of that?
Quantitative fit testing machine.
Okay, couldn't get the name. The quantitative fit testing machine, as well as recognition to some crew, fantastic work and excellent recognition to a crew for a save that they had provided. And one of the neat things we got to hear was the person of whom they saved, who had flatlined and they were able to bring back, wasn't available at 10 because he was vacationing in Florida. So that's kind of a good news to hear, that they were able to do that. And it's wonderful when we can have those type of recognitions from our our fantastic fire and emergency folks. Went through other litany of things when bylaws, drone policy, and some budget updates. Talked about the new ambulance update and getting things in process. There was also discussion of the pension realignment and the allowing folks to stay past the 70-year mark as long as they're fit, meeting the fit profile of the required physicals. Thank you. I couldn't get that word out of my head. And then they also talked about some issues with the current radio system and some blackout spots that they're going to be looking towards. Next meeting is going to be on April 4th, and that concludes my report.
All right, thank you. Planning and zoning?
Planning and zoning met on March 7th. Just a few things they had going on. Public hearing for 356 Totucket Road. It's the corner, there's a parcel on the corner of Borelli Road in Totucket, and they wanted to split it into two parcels. It was approved. And the other thing the other item was 730 Forest Road, which is on the corner of Forest Road and Totucket. The owner's going to be building an 8,700 square foot contractor storage building. That was approved, and that's about it.
Okay. All right. Next is Finance Subcommittee. Finance Subcommittee met last week, and one of the big items that we discussed, which is later on in the agenda, is changing, we need to amend the language in the STW roof bond resolution. There is money left over that we want to start doing some of the renovations, the interior renovations that the department had originally asked for some ARPA funding, and there is money left over from the roof project. So that item will come up later on the agenda. And then we also talked about our transition and how it's going in the new software program, Munis. So we spent some time on that. And that was about it. And we are starting our budget season, so we had our first round of budget workshops last Tuesday, and the next round will be next week, which will be Library, Public Works, and Board of Education. And that's it. The next is Public Safety Communications Subcommittee.
In terms of the towers, things seem to be working okay. I guess there are some issues from what Jeff said, but for the most part, the communications for the town is working. There still is a problem. Verizon has put their antennas on the tower at Northford, but there evidently is some communication still going on between the tower company and Verizon.
Okay, thank you. And the last report is from the CIWWA.
And that meeting will take place next Wednesday, the 27th.
Okay, thank you. On to Town Manager's report.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, Council, good evening. And happy St. Joseph's Day. You'll note the Italian flag is flying at Town Hall today in observation of St. Joseph's Day. Over the weekend, the Irish flag flew here at Town Hall in recognition of St. Patrick's Day, so happy belated St. Patrick's Day to you all. Work on the town budget proposal continues, and we expect to be delivering the budget binders to council members for the March 26th budget hearing in advance of the April 1st charter mandated deadline. Ribbon cuttings, we do have another couple coming up shortly, and the council will be notified and invited to those when we set those up. Side piece of news, the new Central Cafe located at Central Plaza has been nominated for Connecticut Magazine's Best Beer Bar in Connecticut, and they need local help to win, so please go to ConnecticutInsider.com or visit Central Cafe's Facebook page for the link to cast your vote in support of them. As of February 1st, we've been accepting applications for the elderly homeowner, totally disabled homeowner, and additional veterans programs of the assessor's office. Applicants must be 65 by December 31st or totally disabled by the Social Security Administrator, not disabled by them, but according to them, to qualify. that qualify for the state program. Income levels are $43,800 for a single person and $53,400 for a married couple. To qualify for the local program, income levels are set at $50,000 if single and $61,000 if married. This is in accordance with the changes made by the council last year, which increased these thresholds. Applications are being accepted at the assessor's office through May 15th, 2024. At Park and Rec, as part of their Artisan Series, they'll be having a class on making basket cheese featuring none other than Calabro cheesemaker and resident Frank Angeloni for a hands-on cheese-making class. Basket cheese is an Easter tradition that is still made the old-fashioned way by hand, making a beautiful tabletop presentation when unmolded, showing off the weaves of the basket. The class is this Wednesday and Thursday from 5 to 7:30 at Stanley T. Williams. The Wednesday class is already fully booked, and I'll be attending the Thursday class myself, and I'll be posting pictures, but only if it doesn't come out ridiculous. The IRS Volunteer Income Tax Assistance, or VITA program, is once again being offered through our town libraries, offering free help in preparing and filing income tax returns for those in need. Those interested should call the Atwater or Smith libraries to be put in contact with our VTA coordinator. The newly formed Veterans Service Commission held its organizational meeting on Tuesday, February 27th. Mayor Angeloni and I had joined them for their inaugural meeting to swear them in, oversee the election of their officers, and get them going as they begin to examine many items, including the creation of a North Branford Veterans Hall of Fame, designated North Branford as a Purple Heart community, and developing observational events associated with Patriot Day, Veterans Day, and Memorial Day. They've selected Zach Poston as their chair and Daniel Camp as their vice chair, and the next meeting will be April 9th at Edward Smith Library. I'm thankful once again to Gina Cox and Kathy Poston, who agreed to take the lead on organizing our Memorial Day Parade. We have held 2 organizational meetings already, including Public Works, Fire, and Police on logistics and securing parade elements. We have some new elements this year, which we're excited about as this important event continues to grow. And now with the creation of the Veterans Service Commission, Chuck Larkins of the commission will be joining us as we finalize details to put on the parade, which will be held on the Northford side of town this year. I was pleased to join our Park and Recreation and Senior Center staff for their annual St. Patrick's Day lunch last Thursday, May 14th. As always, they put on a terrific event that was attended by roughly 60 residents for a corned beef and cabbage lunch. Thanks as always to Chef Tony for the great work she does, as well as the rest of the team for making a memorable event. The Parks and Recreation team, in conjunction with Public Works and North Branford Conservation Land Trust, once again put out their traditional leprechaun door on the trails at the Harrison Preserve. If you were lucky enough to discover the door to the leprechaun's home, you would see the door into the tree he lives, as well as the stairs and his outdoor sitting area, including his pipe. You could also take one of his lucky gold pieces. My son enjoyed this once again this year, as I know many families and kids did. And we have some important collection dates coming up. Scrap metal pickup will take place the week of April 1st on your regular collection day. This includes air conditioners, dehumidifiers, microwaves, large appliances, refrigerators with doors removed, metal lawn furniture, hot water tanks, tools, metal fencing, filing cabinets, furnaces, garbage pails, non-riding lawnmowers with gas removed, outdoor grills, small machines, and aluminum siding. There'll be a free electronics recycling event on Saturday, April 13th. This includes TVs, CD, DVD players, VCRs, computers, monitors, printers, laptops, keyboard, mice, wires, hard drives, small kitchen appliances, etc. Drop-off location is a Public Works facility at 290 Forest Road from 9 a.m. to 12. Special thanks to the Solid Hazardous Waste and Recycling Committee and our Public Works Department for coordinating in conjunction with Take Two Electronics Recycling. And bulk pickup will be the week of April 15th on the day of your regular pickup. This includes tree limbs, tree branches, scrap wood, rugs, which all need to be at least 4 feet long, no thicker than 4 inches, and need to be bundled and tied. Couches, mattresses, box springs, picnic tables, and wooden furniture. No scrap and vehicle parts and no home cleanouts. That concludes my report.
Let the Facebook comments begin.
All right.
It's a holiday bulk pickup, yeah.
Next item is Town Manager's Report on the Permanent Project Building Committee.
Thank you. The North Branford Intermediate School, the project is expected to ramp up during the April break. For North Branford High School, in Phase 2, the roofing is now 75% complete. The roof is now weather tight, and the fascia and gutter in progress. The exterior masonry is 30% complete with a target completion of mid-May. Interior concrete masonry punch list is being worked on. The interior framing and wall rough inspections are ongoing, and drywall has commenced. Painting began on March 18th. For the North Branford Police Department EOC, Prepping the base and final grading for paving is scheduled for the first week in April. The installation of metal roof panels is ongoing, and the clear story section is completed. All mechanical and electrical equipment are 95% complete. Remaining tie-ins, then testing and startups will be scheduled. Interior finishes are ongoing, including painting, ceiling, grid, and flooring. The above ceiling inspections with the EOR and the building department have begun. That concludes my report.
Okay, thank you. All right, we already did item 9, so on to item 10, citizen statements, petitions, and correspondence.
Okay, good afternoon, good evening, Cliff
Good
Potter,
evening.
Northford. I'm gonna go into something here, I don't know how many of you are aware of it, but it's a part of many organizations. It's a French term, I'm sure he's been well aware of it, Michael. It's called esprit de corps. Discuss, because it's the very body, you can't buy this, you can't win it, you can only earn it. And once you earn it, any organization that you belong to is top notch. So this is very important because, let me just say this. I hate it when dollar signs override common sense. Tommy and Walter, I don't know if you've ever been in the military, I don't know if you've ever been in the fire department, but esprit de corps in the military, you all want to operate at full capacity, from the captain to the cook. And as a unit, when you have esprit de corps, there's nothing you can't accomplish. Well, our fire department works on esprit de corps. Last Tuesday, counselors ignored important input from people in the know. Changes were proposed, not healthy ones in my mind. You better start planning for a paid department if you don't straighten this mess out. The fire department is now running smoothly as volunteers under the present chief because of esprit de corps. Everybody's treated equal. Everybody performs equal from the top to the bottom because they love what they do. You start messing with their budget, you're gonna take the esprit de corps, and you can't put a price on that. When you pull that out of there, you're in trouble. You're gonna affect negatively if you mess with too much. Then you're gonna lose response time because people are not gonna be treated equal. There's gonna be a high and a low. And the low are gonna say, geez, do I really wanna get out of bed tonight? They're probably gonna say no. You can't get the morale back once it's gone. So, this is not easy for me to read. And I was thoroughly upset when I heard what I heard. Who are the town firemen? Do you know any of them? Do you know what they do? 3 of them I know are contractors. They bid hourly jobs. They might bid the job out for 10 hours, but they respond to fire calls. They might lose 4 hours of work time. What's that do to their profit? Ken Newbig, Keith Durbacher, Gary Pedersen, they always run, but it costs them. It costs them profits out of your business. Other businesses in town, they get to keep going. They might be irritated by the sounds of the sirens going by, but they still can do what they do. These guys have stopped, dropped, and rolled the fire trucks. They bid jobs at the hourly rate. So say a 10-hour job, 4 hours at a fire, he's now out to make a profit on 6 hours work. How did they get there to the firehouse? They don't call an Uber. They get in their own car, use their own gas, and go to the firehouse and roll the equipment. They're never paid back for that. Day, night, weekends, holidays. How many people remember the Schatz farm burned down on Thanksgiving? Every fireman in town rolled for that fire, had to drop their turkey dinner utensils and go to that fire, and they did. That's the kind of guys we got. So stop messing with them. Do you lose money if you're not a fireman? The sirens, no, your business still flies. Your sirens, might affect your noise level. Area demands. Northford, so different than downtown. Northford's got farms, but no hydrant. You need water. You need different kinds of trucks. You need different kind of operator instructions. Down here, you got more tall buildings, so you need a ladder truck. So those guys have to be trained on the ladder trucks. You just can't pass equipment around and people around, because they're not here. North Branford has bigger buildings, more traffic, and different types of trucks, so it's difficult for skill sets. I feel that you're micromanaging a job you never did. So how can you help them if you never did? You never sat in a car, you never walked in their shoes. So how can you put input into something you've never done? And you can see I'm angry. I'm angry at the people involved. Listen to the people in the know. They're talking to you. Back off. Do what's right. These firemen deserve your respect. They have more than earned mine. These firemen, stop putting dollar signs on their backs. That's not what this town's about, and I hope I'll move out if we become that kind of town. As much as I tell you I love this town, if we go down and dollar sign dirty, you're going the wrong way. Walter, you're a good welder. I love the work you do. When I bring something to you, do I tell you how to do the job? I respect your intelligence because you know your job. And you do excellent work. I'll be back in a heartbeat if I ever need it. But as far as you having input to the fire department, I don't think you're qualified. That's my opinion. This town is the lifeblood. I mean, these guys keep us alive. I had the misfortune of needing their services December 8th. They were there. We got to be there for our citizens. We can't put a price on that. Get rid of the damn dollar signs. I'll pay more taxes because I've had the experience of this service. So I probably won't get Christmas cards from some of you, but I'll be okay with that. But go with the street decor. Don't mess with the street decor. Michael, you had it in the military, right? Yeah, so when in the military,
Like to think we did.
huh?
Like to think we did it.
Well, yeah, but you worked as a group and you respected each other and you dug down and dug. I always had good, even in Vietnam or wherever I was, I had good NCOICs. And when I came back to the States, I wanted to be a good NCOIC. If you treat your people right, they work day and night for you. You start messing with them, they disappear. And that's what's going to happen to our fire department. And I'm sorry. I'm hot and I'm pissed.
Okay, any other citizen statements?
I'm Steve Maloney, 224 Foxton Road, mobile home 3C, North Branford, Connecticut, and just addressing the flooding problems we've had with the Farm River. You know, I do think now it involves, you know, the mobile home park, but there are, in the entire course of the Farm River through North Branford, you know, it goes to a lot of, you know, different people's properties, and in the flooding, it affects flooded out, you know, Totoka Road. We've had some bad floods recently, and I think we should work together as a team to try to fix this problem, you know. And like going back to what Mr. Potter just said, like if you don't live in the mobile home park or not affected by the river, you might not understand what's going on. Like I'll quote our friend Bob Dylan, don't criticize what you can't understand. And I'm saying, please, let's work together as a team and fix this problem. Like, because I'm just afraid, you know, the water levels might come up higher and do damage to the mobile homes, and I'm worried my motorcycles might get damaged. I'm worried that my neighbors, you know, automobiles might get damaged, and just if we could work together as a team and please try to, you know, fix this problem. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Rose, how are you today?
I'm fine, thank you.
How do we make out? We get any answer on anything about the water situation?
I'm going to defer to the town manager because this is something that
Sure.
the town council doesn't
Right, again.
directly work with it.
You know, just so for recapping, this is a private property issue mostly. It's you know, there's an elevated flooding level there, which we're very aware of. Our town engineer was, you know, out there and has been again like I did last month, just to give kind of an update as to what we're doing right now.
Hi, good evening again. So I did contact the state floodplain coordinator, kind of had a conversation with her about the overall basically health of the watersheds in general across the town. And, it's boiled down to, again, the weather patterns that we've experienced over, the past several months. And I could state that the town is over, the history with the flood ordinance that we've had, that we've done a good job in maintaining the watercourse, making sure there aren't developments that go up in those flood zone areas that are depicted by the FEMA flood mapping. So I would think at this point, maybe, and if it's in if the council can maybe help us out and agree or make a recommendation that if the town, I certainly don't set the town manager's schedule or the town attorney's schedule, but I'd be willing to, get together with the three of us that I just mentioned and any of these, those residents and maybe the property owner of the actual trailer park too, and we can discuss some options that they might have that I've researched through the state flood controls scenarios that there are available, funding that might be available for them to consider, and again, options that property itself can consider, and maybe helping to alleviate some flooding.
So, Mike, do you want to just
Yeah, we'll coordinate that.
coordinate something and, just keep us updated as to what happens, and it's, you can decide as to who needs to be at that meeting on there. I'm not exactly sure the town attorney needs to be there, but if you feel it's necessary or he feels it's necessary, that's fine. But the property owner definitely has to be there, because this is private property. It's not ours, but we will try to help give them resources as to what to do.
Just a reminder for the property owners, bring documentation with you at whatever meeting you're gonna have, that they set up for you, okay?
Okay, thank you, Victor.
Yes, Al Legia, 224 Foxton Road, 2C. I remember when I called Sports Center was dumping rocks and dirt into the river, and that filled it up. They had no permit because I checked on it. I called the town, no permit. And I just recently asked Vinnie Candelora if he could help us with the water situation. It took time before I got him, because I had to call two numbers. He said, I can't do nothing for you, and I was shocked when he said that to us. So, Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any other citizen statements? Okay, moving on. There's no resignations or appointments, so we are going to move on to item 12, unfinished business, discussion and action. First item is discussion and review of the 2019 blight ordinance proposal.
All right, Madam Mayor and Councilors, I circulated to the council last week and included in your folders for tonight. The recommendation is coming from myself and the town attorney and the town planner in our conference. This is the proposal we're submitting to you for your evaluation. I know it's been a short time. I don't really expect the council to, have debate or take any action on it this evening, but certainly available to answer any questions you might have if you have any on it tonight.
I'm not sure if I haven't had a chance to review what was sent to us, and there is, hard copy in our packets. So I would, if anyone has any questions, you're more than welcome to ask, but I would like to ask that it stay on the agenda and we can discuss it in more detail at our April.
Could I just ask one question?
Sure.
You have zoning enforcement officer. I thought we didn't have one.
The town planner is actually sworn in as our zoning enforcement
Oh,
officer.
okay,
Yep.
the town planner is, I'm glad I asked that question, because when I read this, I want to know.
Okay. All right. The next item is creation of an 1831 committee. We've just asked that this stay on here. This is a committee to be formed for the 200th anniversary of North Branford, which will be in 2031. So we need to think about that, and that's why it's on here, just for us to remember to put something together and start thinking about that. 7 years will go back quicker than what you think. And the next item is Town Center Committee. And
Rose, on the 1831, at what point do we think is the right time to start putting something together?
Well, I know the town manager has sent us and I'm not sure, everyone might need a refresher on like the formation of the committee and who is made up of the committee, because that's the first step, is to approve that, what the committee will look like and what they're charged to do. And then from there, we can appoint people to it. There's probably not much in the planning stage right now. I know one of the biggest things that we talked about was starting to budget some money towards this, which will actually come up during our budget talks in a couple weeks when we start. There is an account already established on the town side. So if we decide during budget season that we want to put some seed money in there, so that by the time 7 years comes around, we have money set aside for it, we can start doing that. And then once we form the committee can decide how we're going to fundraise. And that's an account that can then be used for fundraising purposes.
Nice.
So, okay, now on to the Town Center Committee. And I am actually going to defer to Councilor Zampano, since he is the chair of the Blueprint Committee, and this Town Center Committee is a byproduct of that committee.
Right, so I'd like to just explain, what the Town Center Committee would be. And it's a committee that's gonna take a portion from the Blueprint Committee. The Blueprint Committee's reviewing all town-owned properties and what they could be, what they should be, or what they shouldn't be. And then we have that big area in the Public Works area and where the police department is, which could be a town center area someday. So the Town Center Committee would comprise of, I don't know, do we decide how many people? 5, 6 people? And they would come up with some concepts of what it could look like, maybe different variations of what could that area look like without putting a shovel in the ground. It's just to build a concept and present it back to the council and say, this is what this area could be, this version, this version, this version, and in what 5, 10, 15, 20 years, who knows how long. But that's what that committee is for, that we would task them to do. Right. So it would be an internal study.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's.
All right, so in our packet, the town manager put together a draft of, it's a resolution to establish the Town Center Committee. And so right now, the way it has, and this can be changed, this is just a draft, so the committee shall consist of 5 regular members and 3 alternate members appointed by the town council. All regular members shall reside within the territorial boundaries of the town of North Branford without regard to voting districts. So we're not necessarily dividing it up that you have to be from District 1, 2, or 3 on there. So right now, what was proposed was that there's 1 regular member and 1 alternate member from the membership of the Blueprint Committee, excluding those members of the Blueprint Committee who also serve on the town council. So currently there are 3 members of the Blueprint Committee that are town council members. One of the reasons we put this in this in the makeup, the resolution, is because ultimately, all of the town council members are going to vote on whatever is presented to the council. That's where the final vote, that's where the yes or no gets done as far as the concept or the vision moving forward. So we did not want council members voting on the recommendations to come forward to the council, because where their vote is going to count is when it comes before the 9 of us on there. So that's why that was put in there. It's up for discussion, but that's the reasoning behind that. Then there's also 2 regular members and an alternate that have experience in construction and or contracting. There's 1 regular member and an alternate from the Economic Development Commission, and 1 regular member that has experience in the agricultural industry. We chose that also because of the nature of North Branford and Northford being an agricultural community, and so having someone in that industry having a voice on the committee. And then the ex officio membership is the town manager, the mayor, or a designee. So ex officio memberships do not have any voting power at the committee level. And we are also asking that the Director of Public Works participate in an advisory capacity. So that's basically the makeup of the committee. So, and the committee is formed and would meet, they would set their meeting schedule, but have a report back to the council no later than April 30th of 2025. So it's roughly a year. Because once this is approved, then we would solicit names of community members to fill those positions and appoint them. So the earliest that would happen is April. It could possibly be May, but that would be the earliest on there. And so the only thing that, or one thing that needs to be corrected in this is that right now it has a date of April 31st, so that needs to be changed to April 30th in the document. So.
Yeah, we don't have one of those.
So, that day will never come.
Yeah. See, that was a trick I put in there. Never end.
So, I'll open it up for discussion, if anyone would.
Is this committee in this first year gonna need funding?
They could need funding to, I guess it depends on what they decide. I mean, in order to get a conceptual design of what they're thinking of, they would probably need some funding in order to do that. We do have a number of studies that have already been done that we're not doing another study. We want them to take aspects from those various studies that are in possession of someone in either town hall, public works, whatever, to use that as a basis. And then also, I mean, they would need to work with someone that, you know, this is their field of study. It's not just them coming up to it. So depending on what their funding, how much they think they might need, we still do have some ARPA funding left. And I think that would be a good use of ARPA money to put towards it, so it would not be taxpayer dollars.
They would have
going
to
toward it.
engage architects, though. The reality is the studies that we've done aren't about the center per se, they're about the town in general. There was some things that we did in the past, but didn't really make sense. There was one from an architect that, you know, we're not considering. But I think they'd have to engage an architect and have to, you know, that's where some of the costs would come, that when it comes to, you know, building up a town center and then possibly working with privatized, you know, development as well.
And whatever that is, it would have to go out to bid.
Yeah.
Because it's definitely over the bid threshold.
Yeah.
'Cause. 'Cause. So. 'Cause. 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 'C So are there any other questions, comments? Are you prepared to vote on the proposed makeup of the proposed resolution that
So,
was
so
in our
Rose,
packet?
this committee will not have any spending authority, correct?
No, they would have to request funding from the council, and we would have to approve it, and whatever it is, we would have to go out to bid on it, because I don't think you're gonna get anyone under the bid threshold. The
I guess
project.
a question for the town attorney, this committee would fall under the same rules as far as participants being on other boards and commissions as well?
That's correct.
Well, if they're on another, if part of the makeup of the committee is someone from EDC or the Blueprint Committee, so they're already serving on another committee, so they wouldn't be able to serve on this committee? I mean, on Permanent Project, they're designated from other boards or commissions. That's part of the makeup of Permanent Project. When there's a specific project, like if it's Board of Ed, there's Board of Ed members on the Permanent Project Committee.
Created for a special purpose as opposed, yeah. That may be let me take a look at that in the charter.
Okay,
Let me take a look at that before you
Okay.
make a point.
okay,
You can sit on, figure that out.
okay. If you would like to table it until the next meeting, until the town attorney gets back to us, that's fine?
Yes.
On
Motion
that?
to table.
Okay. Okay, motion to table and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries. So we'll put this on the agenda for next month then. Thank you. Okay, moving on to new business. So we need to make some motions to amend the agenda. The first one is, do I have a motion to amend the agenda for item 13A, 3 Is, and it's to amend the agenda to add additional ARPA funding for the Park Rec Department for the Mill Road Field to purchase portable scoreboard, bleacher, and player benches.
So moved.
Second.
Motion to amend the agenda has been made and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstained? Okay, and the other agenda addition, do I hear a motion to add item 13I? And it's for the STW renovations to be moved to the Permanent Project Building Committee.
So moved.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries. Okay. So, first item, 13A, ARPA fund request. I would like to hear a motion, I would like to table discussion and action on additional nonprofit funding until we go through everything. So I'd like to have a motion to table that until we go through everything.
So moved.
Second.
Motion has been made and second to table 13AI. Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries. Okay. Next item is a letter from Louisa Breen, who is our Social Services Director, regarding the North Branford Community Gift Fund. Louisa could not be here tonight due to a family situation, but there is a letter from her in our packet regarding what this is. It's on page 34 of our packet. So the North Branford Community Gift Fund was established in November of 1986. It was funded from 1988 through 1992, and then after that, it has fully been dependent on business, private citizens, and nonprofit and fundraising activities. So the mission of the Community Gift Fund is to assist, when able, an individual or family with assistance when no other options exist and attempts with other agencies or nonprofits have been exhausted. All funds assist North Branford and Northford people, and the expenditures are made directly to the vendor. So Louisa is asking for $3,000 in ARPA funds to fund the Community Gift Fund. So do I hear a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, the motion has been made by Counselor Diamond. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, second from Counselor Felicia. Okay. So the motion has been made to fund $3,000 from ARPA funds to the Community Gift Fund. Is
Can
there?
I just ask,
Yep.
is there money now in this community gift fund, or is it just that $780?
Well, I mean, that was
That was like.
that was
in other words,
originally.
It was never added, that's what I'm trying to ask is, was that ever added to?
Well, the only thing that I understand is that since the council established the fund and stopped funding it through their budget process,
Oh, okay.
all the money that's in there has been through private donation or fundraising activities. The
Okay.
council has not funded anything through their budget since 19.
Okay,
92.
I wasn't sure whether there was an additional money that I ever put in there.
There's been money because they've given out things, but it hasn't come from the council
Oh, okay.
on there, correct? So I know this $3,000 would probably go a very long way for projects that they do. And what I like, the nice thing is that when they assist the town residents, the money goes directly to wherever their need is to the vendor.
No, I think
So
that's
they-
a wonderful thing.
So, okay, the motion has been made and seconded for $3,000 from the ARPA fund. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. Okay. The next item is item that we added at 13A. Is additional ARPA funding for the Parks and Recs Department. So shortly, we're going to hear from our youth sports organizations who have applied for ARPA funding through our nonprofit fund. And in reading through those applications, the North Branford Youth Lacrosse Organization, which is one of the newer youth sports in town, part of their funding request originally was their field is Mill Road. So it's, not in the center along with some of the other fields. And they are in need of a portable scoreboard, bleachers, and player benches. So the field is pretty sparse for them right now for their activities. And in talking to the president of the Youth Lacrosse and to Parks and Recs, I just thought it would probably be better suited if we pulled the expenses for those items out of their request for the nonprofits and allocate the money from ARPA funding directly to the Park and Rec Department so that they can buy those items for youth lacrosse. It would become town property, and this way we can use our vendors and it would meet our specs, and it would be for the Mill Road. That is their playing field right now. So I did get pricing from Park and Rec and from Youth Lacrosse as to how much this would cost, and to provide a portable scoreboard, one 15-foot bleacher section, because they do have bleachers there now, but they're used by the players to sit on because they don't have any place to sit. So they would just need one more, and then to get some player benches so that the players would actually have benches to sit on. The total cost of all of that could be done for $5,000. So I would like to consider, do I have a motion to have, afford $5,000 from ARPA funding directly to the Park and Rec Center for the purchase for Mill Road Field of a portable scoreboard, bleachers, and player benches.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Okay, so the motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion?
Stop making fun.
Oh, okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Okay, so $5,000 will be going to Park and Rec to purchase that for youth lacrosse. Okay, now on to item 13B, application for ARPA nonprofit organization funding. First item is Water and Webb's Waterbird Rehabilitation Center. Do we have a representative here? Okay, would you like to come forward, please? State your name and tell us a little bit about it.
Hi, my name is Donna Powers, and I'm founder and president of Water and Webb's. I'm also a state and federally licensed wildlife rehabilitator. And we were founded in 1995, and we've always been located in Northford.
Okay, and you can just explain a little bit to us about what your request is for and how any funding would be used?
We're requesting a website. We've never had a website, and we feel that we're at a disadvantage because we could reach more people with educational content with a website. For 9 years, I wrote a column for the Totucket Times called Living with Wildlife. I don't know if anybody remembers. And I write articles, in the Advisor, sometimes in different newspapers. We could only reach so many people with articles in the paper. If we had a website worldwide, people could, we'd answer questions and educate people. Now we're coming on what's we know as baby season, and we get a lot of orphaned ducks, geese, sometimes swans, songbirds, and some people try to care for them themselves, and they're not knowledgeable, and we either get the animal sick or the animal doesn't survive. And with the website, we'd be able to tell people what to do if they found a baby duck before they can get it to us.
Okay. All right. Does anyone have any questions?
The cost, the 4,000, where did you come up with that figure for the website development?
Okay, there's a website company that they're called Mosaic, and I guess they work with charities, and they told us that normally it would cost $4,000, but because we're a charity, they're going to do it for $2,000, half price, and then $15,000 would be for internet service, and then we'd have $500 left over for other purposes.
You said 15,000.
She meant 1,500.
Yeah, internet's about 15, or excuse me,
1,500.
yeah, 1,500.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you say internet service, do you mean like SEO, search engine optimization, so people could find you?
Oh, yeah.
If that's what they're talking about?
Right.
Okay, because obviously you build a website, it's there, but you have to have someone that actually, when they search you on Google, they can actually find
Oh,
you.
yeah, we'll we'd have a search engine. This company would do everything for us. It would also update and do everything. We don't have to do anything.
And host it for you.
Yeah, so if somebody, for instance, finds a baby mallard or an orphaned, ill, or injured animals, they would put in duck or waterfowl, and our organization would come up.
Okay, were you doing some fundraising prior to COVID?
Yes,
Okay, 'cause
we
it's
were.
important. The spirit of this is if you kind of missed out on the ability to do fundraising.
Well, we were in the process of raising money for a website.
Yeah.
And the way we raise money is we have individual donations. We get it, from members. We table outside different stores like Walmart and Agway. Now it's called Smithland. because they have corn and pellets and hay and things that we need. And I also teach adult education classes at the high school, Sheehan High School,
Okay.
on helping wildlife, and if people are interested in becoming a rehabilitator, or what to do if they find, animals that need help. And all that money, goes toward the organization's needs.
Fantastic, thank you.
Thank you.
Do you
I have
work
one
with
question, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Bruce.
So do you work with the town of East Haven, the animal shelter also? Have you worked with them? Did you work with them? Are you planning?
Yeah, they send animals, they recommend that people call us.
So they do that?
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, so you
Actu-
do work with them?
Yeah, we take in animals from the shoreline and Northford, North Branford.
So strictly just Northford and North Branford, or are you doing?
Oh, no, well, it's statewide, but mostly the shoreline is where we get a lot of the water birds from.
So that's where your area is, just strictly the shoreline? Is it
No, it
like
could
Old
be-
Saybrook to?
A lot of the wildlife we get come from the Branford area.
Thank you.
Just one quick question, thank you for your time. How many animals do you currently have in your care?
Well, now we're wintering over Canada goose, and we have 2 or 3 mallards. But we're coming on into baby season, we get a lot of orphans.
Where are you located?
On Woodhouse Avenue in Northford. It's my home, our vision is to have a real facility someday, raise money for building and have pools and things.
Sure.
Yeah, so I have pens in the backyard and some kiddie pools.
Nice.
And make do with what we have. But
Sure.
again, with the website, this would, a lot more people could be informed, and that would help the animals.
I'll tell you. All right.
Okay.
Mayor, may I?
Your idea is, regardless of where you're from, where someone's from, if they called you, you'd help them, I guess is what I'm hearing.
Well, first, not all animals need to be rescued. So we have a phone. Actually, what we do is it's very similar to the medical emergency service, the Star of Life that they have. It's detection. Someone will notice an animal needs help, or there's a little baby duck or whatever running around their yard. Then they'll call us. And veterinarians have our number. Fire departments have our number. A lot of different places, they can contact us. They call in, and we decide whether or not the animal needs help. If the animal does, or if the animal doesn't need help, we tell them what to do. Like if they find a baby bird on the ground, see if you can put it back in the nest. If you can't find the nest, construct an artificial nest. Baby mallard, are there ducks on the water? Are there other babies? Then you just put it over a laundry basket over the bird, and he'll peep, and the mother will come. And if they do, we usually have someone bring the animal to us. And if not, we go and rescue the animal. And then keep them until they're ready to be released. And release them again. And at the same time, we have a chance to educate the person on the phone about wildlife issues. We also answer phone calls about wildlife conflicts. So that helps the public too. So part of our mission statement is education.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mayor, may I approach for a second?
Yes. Right. Yep. What? Okay. So, do you want to go through all of them first, or do you want to go and just make motions as we go down in a word? So right now, in the pot, what we have left in our nonprofit is $33,000, because we've already awarded, as we saw earlier tonight. And so we've already made some awards, so we have $33,000 left in our pot.
28 after Louisa.
Pardon me?
28 after Louisa.
No, Louisa's not coming out of the nonprofit. Louisa is coming out of the regular ARPA funding.
I think we do it all at once.
Okay,
So you're saying we have 33 left
we have 33,000 left.
total, that's it?
Total.
In the nonprofit.
Just in the nonprofit.
Right.
Of what we allocated.
We allocated 50,000 originally. We've given out 3 to 3 organizations so far. Applications are open until April 1st. So out of the 5, 6, 7 organizations that are on our list tonight, the total that they have requested is more than the $33,000. And so far, we have not funded any organization that came to us. We have not funded their request fully at 100%. So we don't have enough money in the pot to award 100% to all of these organizations. So if you want to listen to them all first, and then we go back and decide how much we're going to give to them, that's fine. Or we can just do it down the list.
But after this list here, no one else can approach us, we're gonna.
The town manager did receive another application today from another nonprofit.
Until the 1st.
So they have so organizations have until April 1st. And then applications are done. We're done accepting applications at that time.
Should we wait till we have all of them in?
Well, we've already given money and we've done it as they've come in. So
I think we should listen to all of them, and then at the end of their speech, I think we should come up with a number for each and every one of them, okay? And then we'll have an idea.
But we have other ones possibly coming, so we might
Yes,
need something
so-
for that.
Yeah, so that-
That's why if we wait until the end and then we
yeah, so
decide
we
what
just,
we
you
get.
know, the idea is that we don't expend it all tonight. That we would keep some in the pot. So in case there's more applications that come in, we could address them. And then depending on how many come, we know we have 1. If we get any others, if there's still money left after we assess that, we can go back to those that have already applied because we haven't given 100%. We can go back to them and give additional funding to use up the pot.
What if we wanted to, let's just say there ends up at the very end of all this, there ends up being 3 more. So let's say there's 3. And we decided, okay, we have the ones we have listed here and those 3, and we decide, let's just split it up evenly.
We can always allocate additional ARPA funds to the not-for-profit too, if it gets to that point, like
Okay.
we need to
Right.
throw in a few
Because-
$1,000
Thank you.
extra.
Yeah, because we have.
That answers my question right there.
We
So
still
could-
have ARPA funds left, so we could add to the pot if
Right.
we needed to on there.
Right.
But we've been awarding at the time of when they, rather than wait until the end, we have been awarding.
So there
That's-
could be more.
Yeah, we know there's 1 for sure, because that.
There is more money if needed.
Yes, there is more money
Thank you.
that's needed. So the next 5 on the list are our youth sports organizations: youth lacrosse, youth football and cheer, youth basketball, youth little league, and the soccer club. So these 5 organizations, rather than have each of you come up and present we read all your applications, and we are so grateful for all of the volunteers that in any of these sports and servicing the youth of our town, and we really appreciate everything that you do for our town. In reading over all of your applications, they're basically, you're all asking for the same type of reason. So I'm just gonna ask a rep from each one of the sports organizations to come forward, and we'll have you introduce yourself and the sport that you represent. And if we have any questions, then we can ask them of you. One thing that, in talking to the council members prior to tonight's meeting, we've all come to the conclusion that whatever we decide to give to one sport, all sports will receive equally. We do not want to pit one group against another. That is not our intention, and I know you all work together, in your individual sports, and we don't want to put anyone into that situation at all. So if I can have a rep from each one of the sports that's here, just come up to the front and we'll just introduce, I think basketball had an emergency and they do not have someone here. But just, I'll form a little line here. It's okay, guys. And we'll just start on the end, yep, and just.
Eddie Bona, I'm the treasurer for the North Branford Soccer Club.
Jim Pollock, I'm the president for youth football and cheer.
Christine Gearlow, president for North Branford Lacrosse.
Amy Ferrati, vice president for Little League.
Okay. All right. So, does anyone, so we've all had an opportunity to read your applications. So does anyone have any questions for them?
No, I mean, I'm sure many of us have enjoyed playing for many of the different various sports. I played for at least 3. Sorry, there was no lacrosse when we were in school back in the day, although it would have been fun. So I'm all for helping the youth sports. I think it's something we need to take very seriously. I'm also all for funding them a little bit more than what we maybe have in the cachet here, and then knowing that we can come back. I don't consider this the nonprofit pool. I think this is a different area, in my opinion. So I would encourage my other counselors to think about that. This is the fabric for our town, the reason why people move to this town, and we need that. We're a town that's getting older, not younger. We need to have these type of programs in place, particularly in an environment now where travel sports have really attacked youth. You want to make sure that your Little League and your youth sports are doing really well. So I encourage us to consider this great and put some thought towards this. These are very worthy organizations. And thank you for your time. You don't do this for free. I know that. You do it with all your equity of time and equity of family being left on short meals and cold this and that. And we do that too, so we get that. Thank you.
I have a question for everyone, actually. How do you is there consideration for families that might not financially be able to participate?
Absolutely. I know, and I definitely speak for all of you, is that we turn no child away.
Okay.
When it comes to finances, and
Awesome.
many times we also offer free tuition for children who may have lost a parent recently. So we try to fund as many children as possible, and equipment, of course, is given to them if they can't afford it as well. Yeah.
What does it cost for a child to play one of the sports? I will say on the average, what does it cost them out of pocket?
Each one varies. I can tell you, football just went up to $395 from $250, but we were in a loss from last year because the expenses are just going through the roof. So
Yeah, equipment's heavy.
Lacrosse had to raise for the first time in, I don't think we've raised it in 7 years, and we're at $265 for the 7th and 8th graders. We're only at $200 for the 3rd and 4th, but same thing, we had to raise because everything else went up. Uniforms, referees. Insurance.
First time as well.
Yeah,
this
first
year.
time, it was first time.
In probably 10, 15
It's same with us.
years.
I don't know the number because I just, yeah.
And we're providing a little bit less to them. We're not doing pants this year.
So we do uniforms. We provide uniforms and, yeah, and we're trying to provide as much equipment as possible for kids that want to get into the game. Because again, lacrosse is relatively new, so a lot of people aren't familiar with it. They're not sure whether to sign their kids up, if they can afford. So we'll waive registration and try to give them some kind of equipment, but I went through the shed and we don't have equipment to lend this year. So we're trying to rebuild that too. That's
we
where we're
pretty
at.
much have to give out all the equipment because we have to ensure that it is certified, it is recertified, it is able to be utilized without any problems, and also we don't allow the children to buy any of their own equipment.
You also have to pay for referees,
Yes.
Yes.
which is a lot of money.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
That keeps
20 years
going up.
ago, my kids did soccer, and I was part of the soccer club. I totally know. And I'm a big believer in no child left behind. So, and that was one of my things, is that the ARPA funding that you receive, that has to take care of the single mom who can't afford it for their child, is, I'm big. So just stick
So
with
any
it.
student gets to play no matter what, though. I mean, you
Yeah.
turn anybody down.
No, we'll turn anyone down.
Thank you.
Thank you to each one of you. I've been involved with 3 of the programs, and I know very well that we actually paid for parents who are struggling, and with baseball, we had a few parents who, passed away, and we've taken actually consider the kids to be through the whole program until they're out of age, cost-free for the next, I think one of them is 4 years. So, thank you, each one of you, because I know how much time, and Mr. Bona, thank you, because I know you're trying to rebuild a program that has faltered very much. And Christine, you're doing a good job over there, and Jim, thank you. And Amy, you're doing your best. Thank you. And with basketball, I know I was involved, I was on the board for basketball too, so I was involved with everyone in sports, and no one's here to represent that. They struggled this past year.
Yeah, basketball's not on this, is it?
Excuse me? Yes, they are. She just said that.
Oh, okay.
To a family emergency. But whatever we decide, you deserve that plus more, which we probably can't give you, but just to let you know that. Thank you very much.
Hard part is getting the parents to sit there and volunteer. That is the hardest part.
We're currently looking for a Pee Wee girls coach.
I've already signed up. I'm coaching, I'm coaching either T-ball or softball, I don't know
I
which
didn't see
one.
your name on the volunteer list.
Yeah, I'm there. Check it out, check it out. But yes, come see me after, because I would ask you that.
Yes.
I think we need to revert back to this on the item discussion and action portion of this. I'd like to see us pull some money out of regular ARPA into this. I'd like to see every organization here get $7,500 to go towards the group. Make sure that we're taking care of these kids. Make sure we're taking care of these folks here that are giving up their time. That's how I think it wouldn't take a lot. I think we can do it with an additional 20K infusion from the other ARPA monies. I mean, this is exactly what ARPA was put together for. Yeah, it was to help roads and bridges and things such as that, but organizations that could not run during COVID, could not fundraise, these are the organizations that weren't able to do that. And these are the ones that impact our kids, which are most vulnerable to be bored and doing other things. So that's my take. I would strongly suggest that we follow on that.
Yeah, well, piggybacking on that, just asking all of you, between COVID, not being able to have sports, not being able to fundraise for sports, how much do you think ballpark each program's lost out on monetarily?
We've probably lost a good $15,000 to $20,000 just in sponsorship, because the sponsors didn't really come back. So it's pretty much that has really hurt us a lot. We're still able to fundraise to some extent, but the sponsorship was what we really relied on. And even we give them a sign or anything like that, we give them stuff on the website, it's still just not enough anymore, so.
How much does it cost to outfit one football player?
Well, it's hard to say. In fact, we have the shoulder pads are probably about $85 a piece. A new helmet is about $395. We recondition all the helmets every year, which costs $65 per helmet, and that we're in the neighborhood of 100 helmets that we send out. Pants are probably another $65, which we usually try to give them 2 pairs of pants. We give them a practice pants and a game pants. We even give out mouthpieces, but that we get from a local dentist who donates them for us, so we make sure that they're shock doctor, their safety, and all of that. But I mean, all in all, when you include referees, insurance, so a lot of times we have to rent lights because we don't have an actual field, and we have to practice at night because when we're practicing, it's dark at 5 o'clock. Things of that nature. It's probably in the neighborhood of $400 or $500 per person. That's football. We also have flag and cheer, which is less, but maybe 2/3 of that, a third of that maybe. So yeah, it's
an expense.
About $150 a student.
Yes, yeah, that's what we were in the red for about I want to say 2,500 last year, which we were lucky. I mean, we run a golf program or a golf outing every year that we make around $6,000 for. And then we do still have some donations, like the Sportsplex gives us money and time and whatnot. So we do have some sponsors that came back, but
you know, some of the get dedicated ones, but then there's some that still just give us, like, we used to get $1,000 from someplace and now they give us 100. So it's been,
Times aren't easy.
yeah, it's been tough. Been very
As
tough.
far as the soccer goes, you're not using South Central? You don't use South Central anymore, do you?
No, Premier clubs have like exploded beyond South Central. There's
My daughter she was a premier player for South Central. So.
now there's like 4 or 5 you can choose from in the area. Yeah,
So-
so we battle. Participation is probably our biggest battle. We lose a season. We were at under 100 participants in the fall of 2020. We're at 75. This is all age groups.
Yeah.
Right. That's like nothing.
So you're at 75 right now?
No, we were. We just built it. Well, a new board took over. Me and myself, Nikki Perry, she's the registrar. 2 other youth, younger parents with children. Well, actually, we all played in the town growing up.
Right.
Now we live here, and so now we got back up to like 185.
Nice.
We got
Wow.
travel teams
Nice.
going again.
Okay.
Yeah. We've like almost tripled. Yeah.
Yeah, girls
teams
travel's
again.
doing well. My daughter plays. It's been
Oh,
great.
Yeah. So, so we're moving in the right direction. We started getting sponsorships, so we never had sponsorships in the past, right? It was really, we actually offered a free clinic to boost. The first time we took over, we offered a free clinic the winter of 2022, just to get people to come play. So we ate that, and it's worked out, but there's still a lot of old equipment that we're trying to kind of replace. And now that we're gonna have travel teams, we just gotta get the fields and equipment up to par, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I get it. Same thing?
We're at an all-time low for participation. From kindergarten to 8th grade, boys and girls, we're only at 110. We have kindergarten to 2nd grade, boys and girls, we only have 9 kids. So I run a Sunday morning clinic with my son, who's a freshman, and just some of the other high school kids to help out, and we literally only have 9 kids this year. Last year, I think we had 20, but they were the older kids. Like last year, we had 3rd graders doing the clinic that we're trying to do this time, because your 3rd graders are essentially the COVID kids. That's when everything shut down when they were in kindergarten, so they're not in any, I have a little one in 3rd grade. They're not, they never did sports at like the town level. We got away with a little bit hockey. We traveled out of state and did some stuff when it shut down. But as far as town organizations, when everything shut down, those kids, we had nothing from kindergarten to 3rd graders at all in this year. Even on our 3rd, 4th teams, I think we only have 3 or 4 3rd graders on each team. Our 3-4 team, we're letting 2nd graders play out this year if they want to get experience, and I still only have 9 kids on that team. I have 1 sub for the team. That's it. And again, we ran a free clinic last week for girls, just at the Jerome Harrison gym, because we had 4 girls for the 3rd, 4th grade team, and not 1 single 3rd grader, and not 1 single 5th grader, all 4th graders. So we ran a free clinic, and we only got 13 kids. But out of that 13, we had 6 of them sign up. So that's another thing, we want to start doing more clinics. We just didn't everything. We're trying to rebuild. It's kind of fallen off, and we're trying to get, our 7th and 8th grade teams are great. We have a bunch of kids, it's fantastic. But those are the kids that have always played and then took a little break and then came back. It's the 3rd, 4th graders that are really, and 2nd graders struggling to get out of the house and play, because they were stuck inside for so long on everything on the screen. School, life, communicating with their friends. My kids could work FaceTime and everything else better than I can, because they're all on there. Like Zoom meetings, I still look at him to connect me to Zoom meetings, 9. But that's generational. So we're struggling. I don't know how your numbers are at those age levels, but
Our 2nd grade, yeah.
the young kids, it's like pulling teeth to get them.
One's turning 8, yeah, very low.
I offered a
Especially
bunch of
spring.
3rd graders for lacrosse this year free. I said, play for free. I won't even charge you. Play for free, see if you like it. I'm begging you to try. So I got a bunch of the girls they're playing for free, because we need bodies to get involved. So hopefully they like it and they stick with it. And if they don't and they want to pick another sport, great, but get out and play. So that's our biggest struggle.
Get the message out to parents too, because
Yeah,
ultimately
yeah.
at that age, you have to get the parents to
And
go,
then it's the hard thing too, because parents don't want to pay for equipment that they think the child's only going to play 1 year. I mean,
Yeah.
lacrosse, you
son's playing for the first time. I played 4 years of high school, and I've been trying to get him to play. He's going into 8th grade, and he finally agreed to do it, and I'm in for over 700 at this point. So.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's no joke.
It's
Surprising though.
It's
No, I know.
Don't start hockey. First of all, don't start hockey. But,
Money well spent.
So I think we're stealing all the kids then, because our numbers have exploded.
That's amazing.
In the league, and
You are stealing all, because
I
my
know.
third graders said, they all play softball.
So our girls,
That's
it was
great.
mostly our girls, we
Yeah.
had next to no girls 2020, and now we have added on 2 additional girls softball teams, and I'm so happy. So, sorry.
No, it's, hey, listen, if they're playing, I'm good with it. Softball is my sport, so I'm all for it, but that's what my son said. She said, they're all softball. I said, that's amazing. At least there is something, but I need some girls. I need something to keep the program going, so.
But with more kids, it's a higher cost, uniforms killed us last year. The cost of uniforms is astronomical.
Yeah.
And we shopped around this year, to see what else we could get, but.
Because it's reversible, everything, so I have one set.
Yeah.
Everything's reversible.
We just did it.
Pennies are everything is reversible, so I'm paying for 2 sets.
We just did it recently,
Yeah.
two years ago, so that they have to be returned. We used to give them their jerseys every year, but we can't afford that anymore,
Yeah.
so we have returnable ones that are reversible. We did
Yeah.
the same thing.
We took a bunch off too.
Yeah.
I did a lot of laundry in
Yeah.
off-season.
Well, we really appreciate everything that the youth, all of the youth sports do for our town, and we appreciate you coming forward to let us know of your needs. So we have, if there's no other questions, we're just gonna move on to the next one, and then we'll come back to deciding.
Thank you.
Thank you for all you do. I was there,
If I
I
could make
know.
a quick plug,
I did it.
Day is April 20th. We start lighting up at 8:30 and start marching at 9. We would really love all of you to be there. It's a really great event, so if you be there April 20th, 9 o'clock at Wallfield. Concession stand will be open, and we fixed the microphone today.
Is that Earth Day? Is that Earth Day?
Last year.
April 20th?
Girl Scouts will be there too.
Is that Earth Day? April
Yeah,
20th?
they,
They always have someone there.
I know, I'm there.
okay. And the last one is the North Branford Food Pantry.
Hi, I'm Linda DeLico, the present treasurer, and we were approved as a nonprofit in 2014 and actually opened our doors in 2015. And beginning with COVID and kind of exacerbated by raging inflation, we have had quite a challenge keeping our shelves filled in recent days and years. We have the normal operating costs of keeping the pantry going, which most of you guys have, and keeping your homes going. But by far, their greatest challenge has been the food. During the worst of COVID, Connecticut Food Share, who we're affiliated with, had severe supply chain issues, which resulted in us kind of segueing into more and more retail purchases. So we're kind of a hybrid at this point with support from Connecticut Food Share, yet still doing a good deal of retail shopping. Our demand has also increased dramatically. We're currently assisting between 60 and 65 families per week. And I usually work at least one day a week there, and I sign up somebody new almost every week. So the need continues to increase for sure. If you did read the application that our president had completed and submitted, you know what kind of a job the volunteers did during COVID. So if anyone has any questions about that period or what's going on now, feel free.
Well, I know that the application that your president, Rita Nay, submitted to us, in my mind, had a very low figure listed on it. And I know she was being very conscious of the fact that there were other groups that were also applying for money and did not want to ask for an excessive amount of money. In my opinion, the food bank deserves more than what they asked for on their
100%.
application. So I think that is something that we need to consider when we take some action tonight, is that, in my mind, they should get more than what they asked for.
I
We
agree with
would
you.
certainly appreciate it.
If you haven't volunteered there, I'd encourage you to do so. My wife and I volunteer there once in a while, and we've also donated personally. This is, you don't think of North Branford having people that are food insecure, but we do. We have plenty of people that need that bolster, and they need those nutritions and someplace to get that. So it's important to, I agree, I think that it was
Yeah, but would also like to include a big positive here and just remind everyone that we live in a very generous community. I mean, the pantry is funded 100% through donations, and the community always comes through for us.
It's fantastic.
Yes.
Can I ask about the facility? How's it working? I've heard different stories where you've had difficulty because of location, because of traffic or whatever. How's that going for you?
I wouldn't say traffic is a real issue. We're in the basement of St. Andrew's Episcopal Church, so there's a lot of lifting involved, and it's difficult going down the stairs because it's an old building, and so the stairs are steep, and a lot of our volunteers, and I include myself in that number, are rather elderly, and so, you know, we do have issues, that's for sure. Yeah, and as well, some of our shoppers have difficulty. You know, we have a handful who can't make the stairs, and so they'll call, or we'll go out to the car and they'll give us an order, but they're not able to actually shop because of the access issue.
It's something we'll address in the future.
When people donate food, are there certain things that are better to donate than others?
Well, we have a Facebook page, and Rita posts every week what we need. But I mean, off the top of my head, we always need cereal. We always need tuna fish. You know, anything. We check expiration dates on everything. So, I mean, occasionally we will have somebody who just cleans out their cabinets, and you know, everything's a bit dated, and that's, you know, we end up throwing it out. But that's, I mean, most people are, you know, they've either proactively shopped for the pantry, or, you know, they're giving in good faith, and it's something usable. So.
Okay.
You don't just do food, do you? Don't you do coats for kids and things like that also?
Only if we get them as a donation. I mean, we don't.
The Rotary and the social services
Right.
do
I know, we do
more
first.
of that.
Right.
Around the holiday.
Right.
The food pantry, their basic is food donations. And-
Food is
Yeah.
our primary, obviously,
I thought in the
but,
past you
yeah.
did coats for kids
Yeah.
and things like that.
So-
Yeah, but we do occasionally get, I mean, you might have heard somebody say they got
Yes.
a piece of clothing from the pantry,
Well-
because we do get some funky donations, and, I mean, if it's something serviceable, we're not gonna refuse it. We'll try and put it to good use.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'll make a motion.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so before we take any action on this, we're gonna go back to item 13A1, which we tabled, discussion and action on additional nonprofit funding. So I know the deputy mayor.
Yeah, so I think I'm just trying to do the numbers. We think we can accomplish what we need with, let's say, an additional 25?
Doesn't matter what we put in there, because we can always go back, but we could probably, if we put an additional 20,000 in there, we could fund the sports at a little higher level than what we originally talked about, and we could fund the food pantry for more than their request.
So we'll have, what's the I would say, I make a motion that we extend the,
Excuse me, you have to make a motion to, or take it from the table first.
I'm sorry?
You have to make a motion to take
Oh,
it
to
from the
take it
table.
off the table.
Off the table.
We tabled it.
Oh, yes, motion to take this agenda item off the table.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I
It's
wanna
just,
say,
Hang on, we're just taking it off the table
Okay.
first.
we're just
Okay.
taking the motion off to table this item, so now we put it back on the agenda, so
Okay.
now we can discuss it.
all right, that's what I wanted to discuss.
And you want,
Yeah.
I'll put it in discussion, once I put it into motion, second, then discussion. Okay, so I'll make a motion that we increase the budget or the allocated budget for nonprofit with an additional 25,000 in ARPA funds.
Second.
Okay, the motion has been made and seconded. Discussion.
I would like to discuss possibly all of these ARPA funds here, tabling all of this and us having a special meeting and discussing exactly what we're gonna give everybody, because now we're just coming up with different numbers and realizing we wanna give more. We're kinda now, to me, it just seems like we're kinda winging it here. Like we're kind of blowing with the wind and changing. We're definitely not, I think it's actually gonna benefit everybody more, but we're just sitting here right now, we're just throwing numbers, and we have other people that are gonna be asking for more money too. Myself, like I was saying before, I would like to have, everybody's making great presentations, have all of those presentations in front of us, and then us sit down with what we intend on putting aside for all of this, and then saying, okay, this is what we wanna do with it, instead of right here just dropping it all on the table. And, you know, instead of rushing into this, let's make it where we all agree on this and I think we should have like a special meeting.
I'm not in favor of a special meeting just for this, because the other three organizations that we've already donated money or gave, we decided that night when they made their presentation and we had their application in advance, and we made a decision that night for those three. And I feel that I'm ready to make a vote myself tonight on it. I don't think we need a special meeting, because if there's money left over in the pot at the end, we can come back to all of these organizations that put an application in, and we can fund them we can add more, give them more money than what we gave them tonight. And those that we already approved too, that everyone would be back into the pot.
And we've talked about that too, doing this, going back with.
Just me making up numbers right now, let's just say we were going to give somebody $100 and we're gonna vote on that now. So, let's just say in my mind, I don't wanna give $100, I wanna give $1,000. So when we take the vote, everybody votes yes for the 100, I vote no, because I don't agree with the 100, because I wanna give 1,000. So it's like, you know what I mean?
No, I
It's
get
like-
it, you could bring that up, and that's why we're
Well,
discussing
you
now.
wouldn't bring it up, you'd be like, okay, wanna give so-and-so $100, everybody says yes, and I say, no, I don't. I'm voting because I wanna give more, or it could be less, but.
Yeah.
It seems in hindsight, we might have handled this improperly overall, because we set a deadline to April 1st. We probably, and just as my opinion, we probably should have waited to April 1st, got everybody who's asking for
Yeah, I hear what you're saying on
some funding, and then did it, but unfortunately, we didn't do that. That's just,
Right.
Yeah.
unfortunately, and I don't know, because I feel, kind of similar to how you feel, Walt, but I don't know what we do now, but it is kind of,
It just seems.
it's kind of
sloppy to me.
haphazard.
Very sloppy.
Yeah.
It's really
it
sloppy.
seems.
Yeah, I can tell you my reasoning behind the number that I came up with. I looked at all the numbers together, and because we didn't want to make one sport versus another have, a larger piece of the pie. We wanted to make sure it was impactful for each one. So I looked at the mean of what was asked for. So there are some that asked for more, some that asked for slightly less, and I put it within the mean, and that came up to about 7,500. That's where my thought process was, and knowing that, there is the possibility that, we'll have extra dollars. We don't want to leave funds in ARPA, pile, because they're going to get called back, and we're going to then no one gets them. They goes all.
Well,
they go
there definitely no risk that there's gonna be any money left, so I don't think that's a risk at all, but.
I'm almost surprised that we're not done with them now.
Yeah.
Because most towns.
So I think
far
if,
down.
Yeah, but that's not.
I think if we went with 5 across the board for each sport, they can actually come back, because you wanna go and put an additional $25,000 in there, that would give us, we still have money left over. I think we can still put it in later. And right now, if we go and we give them each 5, we're not spending everything that's in the pot right now, but we can always revisit it. That's something that, because it's gonna come back. And I think that, yes, we should take care of them, but I think what we have in there right now is what we should use. And then go and say, okay, what's left, we can add to more of it, they can come back and ask for more. Exactly what we had talked about originally.
Well, they wouldn't have to come back and ask for more.
No, we could just actually give it to them.
Because they have applications.
Right.
So
We
if I
could
could
just
just
actually
put
give it to
something
them.
in perspective, just to kind of give an overview on this, right? So we had 33 going into tonight. If we approve the 25, brings us to 58. And I'm just using the 5,000 because it's easier, but if we gave 5,000 to each sport, that's the 25,000 we just entered. We still have the 33 left over from where we started the night, so.
Right, I did the same numbers.
Even if we went to the 7,500, we're still in a good spot. We still have a substantial amount left over for other people as well, so.
What are we talking about for the food pantry?
Haven't gotten there yet.
Oh, what?
I don't think we've gotten there yet.
Oh, we haven't, so I'm just trying to put it all together. Okay, we haven't talked about that yet. Because I
That's why.
would definitely like to give that food pantry more.
So,
That's why I
Anthony, what's left, what's actually left?
In what?
In ARPA, what do we have left in ARPA?
33 without the 25.
No, total.
In the other ARPA fund.
You had 184,996 going in tonight. If you knock the 5,000 off for Louisa, you're at.
Louisa was 3.
179.
So we did 8,000 between Louisa and Park and Rec. So that was 8,000 tonight.
So it was 183.
So we're down to
175.
So we're down to approximately 175.
So if we give them, if we do another 25,000, we're down to 150.
Right.
I see the number.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hard enough.
So.
Well, plus change, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So the motion is on the floor to allocate an additional $25,000 from ARPA funding into the nonprofit.
Trying to sit there.
Did anybody second it?
Yes. Yep. So is there any more discussion?
What's the motion?
To allocate $25,000 from ARPA funding to go into the nonprofit pool.
So we can fund the sports teams and the food pantry.
Which is a total
And,
of what?
and the water well as well. Let's not forget that,
Be
guys.
37.5 for the sports teams, plus what we decide to sit there and give to the waterfowl and also the food pantry.
Right. So by putting 25 in there, we definitely have enough in there, and we still have money left over. So if there's any more applications, which we know there's one, if there's any additional ones, we would have money in there to allocate. And if we still have money left over, we can go back to people that have made, that we've already allocated money to. And approved. So, I'm gonna call the question and take a vote on this additional 25,000. So, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I abstain.
Okay. One abstention. So it's 801. Or I should say, opposed? Is anyone opposed? Okay, so it's 801 for the vote. Okay, so now we're gonna go back
Item B.
to item B.
I'd like to make a motion that I'm going to do his first motion that we fund the 5 noted youth sports clubs and organizations at a $7,500 ARPA award each.
Second.
What's the grand total? Make sure I-
37.
At a total clip of 37.5, thank you.
All right, so the motion was made by Deputy Mayor McMillan, seconded by Councilor Palladino for $7,500 youth lacrosse, youth football and cheer, youth basketball, Little League, and soccer club, $7,500 each. Discussion?
Say the same thing again, this will be the last time I say it, I'm not saying whether I wanna give more or less, I just think the way we're doing this is wrong, and that's why I'm voting the way I am, because I think some people deserve more money, and some people maybe deserve less, and I'd like to talk about it more as a council, but I'm just gonna abstain from the whole thing. That's why I'm voting the way I am. I think we always rush in everything, and I think it'd be more fair to everybody out there and the other people, and I won't say any more, and that's just how I'm gonna vote the way I vote.
That's fair.
And I just wanna make one comment too. Anything we approve is more than they had yesterday. So we have to keep that in mind too.
Yes.
So, and yeah, that's it, that's all I wanna say.
Okay. All right. So the motion is on the floor for $7,500 to the 5 youth leagues, sports leagues, and it was seconded. All in favor?
Aye. I abstain.
Opposed? And 1 abstention. So the motion passes 0-1. Congratulations to all of the youth sports. So there are kind of rules as far as to get reimbursed for these things, and our finance director, Anthony, can you just kind of?
Yeah, you can give me a W-9 for your organizations, we have it on file, tax ID numbers, and then we'll cut the checks. We can use the minutes of the meeting as the authorization. If you want to throw a letter together, that's fine as well. I'm aiming for the league, I'm looking for the $700 that they awarded at the March 19th meeting. No.
So we have 20,000. We have
20,500.
It's not.
Yeah, okay. So can we do them together?
No, we'll go back to item B.
This other one, yeah, we would have done
Yeah, we're gonna do that right now.
So now we're gonna do Water and Webb's Waterbird Rehabilitation Center.
All right, I'll make a motion to award, and again, this is up for discussion. I'll make a motion to award Water and Webb's Waterbird Rehabilitation Center, Inc., an amount of $1,500 for the assistance in building out a website.
I'll second that.
Discussion?
Yeah, I'd like to know where we're coming up with that number.
Because that was basically what she said, I think she could probably do it for, with a discount.
Yeah, the total
No, I
bill
thought
was,
it was-
total bill was $2K
Oh, it's 2K?
for the build out of it. We're looking holistically, so we're looking at pantry and waterfall together for the remaining. I would be okay with amending mine to a different number to do the 2K to cover the website.
Oh, I thought
I
it
don't
was
know if
one.
we,
I'm sorry, I thought it was 1.
Can I say something?
Sure.
Websites now go for like, they start at 4,000 for a real professional good website. And that's what we want the best we can get.
sure.
So he would give it to us for half price. And we don't have internet service, so I thought, the rest would go toward internet
you don't have internet service, do you mean you don't have Wi-Fi?
No.
You don't have
We
Wi-Fi?
never had a website.
No, I know, but why, that's a different thing. I just want to make sure I'm clarifying what you're asking for. Having a website is having a build out of your address, your location on the web. Not having internet is indicative of not having the ability to access internet at the facility, meaning, is there no Wi-Fi at the facility? Do you not have, I know it's your home too, so, but, so I don't know if it's part and parcel part of your home's website or web abilities, or I should say internet capabilities, but is there Wi-Fi or internet available at that facility now?
No, you can't use a computer. No, because my sister tried to get, to use her computer there and you can't. And
Okay.
my mom has a caregiver come over and she tried to do things on the computer.
Okay, so you don't currently have any Wi-Fi at the home?
No, we're hoping the cell tower is going to help that. Even with the cell phone, you have to go outside.
Well, you have
Yeah,
to.
that's different though,
Yeah.
so that would be, with your cell phone typically comes with a data package, so that's why you have Wi-Fi there, but if you were to plug in a computer at your house, the only way that you're going to have, whether it be a laptop, a desktop, or, you know, you're using your phone without its cellular signal, you have to have an internet connection from Comcast or Frontier or whatever the one that is by you. You have to pay for that service for one of those. And that's gonna be like a monthly charge, like your cable bill and stuff like that. Typically like a triple play package they do, or whatever they call it. So that's what you're looking for. You're looking to fund having the ability to have internet to the home and to the facility of which you're keeping the animals?
Right, and also to even work on the website. You know, I have to see what you're doing and, you know, what's going on with it.
Yeah.
So this is Mosaic, they're out of Branford, right?
Yeah, they go to the, there's an animal fair, I think it's,
No, I know, his office is in Branford.
yeah, he works
Right,
with
in Mosaic.
charities.
So,
That's why
this is so once again, this is your home or your mother's home, or is it, whose home is this?
My mother's home, but I live
So this is at your mother's house?
Yeah.
She doesn't have Comcast or Frontier internet at the house?
Oh, really?
No.
Yeah. It's a lot for a dog.
Something's.
I retract my motion so we can further discuss.
What, is this in Northford?
Yes. What house Avenue?
Okay.
I'd like to up it to $2,000, and I think that's, from what we've heard, I think that's fair.
I go back to what I said before. I think we've kind of we mixed up what we're doing here. We don't even know what we're giving money to. I mean, let's face it.
That's why we ask questions.
Yeah, I understand that, but we should come out here ready to take action and understand what we're doing. And I don't know that we're demonstrating that, in my opinion, for the whole thing. So.
But we started the process.
I understand that, but that doesn't mean you keep, if you're going the wrong way down a road and you notice the one-way sign, you stop, right? And you turn around and you regroup. And I think I just think that's where we're at right now. I hear it in all our voices. We're
trying to figure out what's what.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, but you can't make a decision before you come out not knowing what it is, and we just found out tonight when we had the
Right,
discussion.
so then maybe we should, there's a time that I think we should table.
This?
Table for this particular
Yeah,
one?
rethink what we're doing.
That's fine.
We're winging numbers here, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, 4,000.
Mike, can I ask you a question? Does this program qualify?
They're registered.
Qualify all the way?
They're registered 501c3. Other than that,
Oh, okay.
what are we talking about?
Just want to make sure. I understand. That was my question. So, unusual. Something, I'd like to revisit this one.
That's fine.
I'd like to motion to table.
Second.
Oh, okay, so the motion to fund for 1,500 was retracted, so that's not.
Yeah, I'd like to
So
put a
let's-
motion
so
to
let's-
table this.
So let's vote on that one first.
Oh, okay.
The motion was retracted and the second was retracted. There's no motion
Oh,
for
okay.
you right now.
Okay, so there is no motion, okay, so,
I second, I retract.
okay. So that motion has been retracted, so there's no action on that. So
Right.
if someone wants to make a motion to table,
I'd like to put a motion to table.
Second.
okay. Motion to table the Water and Webb's Waterberg Rehabilitation Center application to table. Any discussion, further discussion?
I just,
I think we should ask the applicant to send us some more information. I don't think we have enough information based on the application. I think we need to clarify exactly what that means, website, and what.
So you want more of a detail?
Detail.
A breakdown? Okay.
yeah, that's fair.
So if we could ask you to submit to the town manager a breakdown of that $4,000 request, exactly what that would go for. And then we will table this and just put it on our next agenda, which is April 2nd.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, we'll take a vote on tabling. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Okay, so that is tabled. And the last one is the North Branford Food Pantry.
Do we feel comfortable that we know what they do?
Absolutely.
Okay. Do we feel comfortable that we can come up with a number? Because if that's the case, I'm gonna make a motion.
They asked for 1,000.
Oh,
And I'm gonna make a motion
I say we go.
that we fund the North Branford Pantry, we talked about 7,500, but
We can,
Yeah.
we can always come back
I
to
think we
it
always
later.
come back to it being a little larger, but at $7,500, again, spirit of ARPA,
Yep.
I can tell you right now firsthand that they
Mhm.
put a tremendous amount of effort during COVID, and it continues now.
We still have a lot of families that need food.
So is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, so the motion was made by Deputy Mayor McMillan, seconded by Councilor Diamond, to award North Branford Food Pantry $7,500. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
I abstain.
Opposed? Abstentions? 1. Motion passes 801. Okay. We're ready to move on to item C, authorization of South Central Mutual Police Assistance Compact.
I'll make a motion to accept and ask the town manager to sign the South Central Connecticut Mutual Police Assistance Compact.
Second that?
Okay. Any discussion?
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
What is it?
Um,
Just,
It's basically a mutual aid agreement when officers work in other towns or they're called into other towns, how they're covered, who pays for it and whatnot. And I don't know, is it annually that it needs to be?
okay. That's okay.
redone?
No, if it's okay, I'm all good.
Yeah,
Okay, that's all. Just.
and this is a modification of the current agreement. we were
Ongoing, it's just review
Yeah,
it.
I mean, we do it all the time, right?
Yeah. Okay. All right, motion has been made and seconded. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstained? Motion passes. Next one is item D, amending the Stanley T. Williams roof bond resolution.
Quickly, there was 2 funding sources for the Stanley T. Williams roof project. One was a TIF grant, and the balance was bonded through a resolution that you folks passed a while back. As it ends up, there's some additional available funds, and a list was comprised by the recreation director as items that potentially could be covered by that surplus money that was already bonded towards Stanley T. Williams School. However, to do that, you need to amend the bonding resolution, because the initial resolution was specific to the roof project. So you can't do something outside of the roof project unless you guys amend the resolution. So the list was forwarded to the manager, forwarded to me, I sent it to the bond council, and they provided the revision to the resolution that you have in front of you. And again, once you guys pass that, the money could be spent for these means as well, besides just the roof project.
Okay, so the motion is on page 85 of our packet. So do I have someone that can read the suggested motion?
I'll read it. Hold on.
Here.
You're there?
Same thing.
Oh, you.
Yeah.
That's what, no, you're gonna do that. Walter's gonna do that.
I just have to go up a little bit so you see the whole thing.
Because there's $500,000 left. on that bond. And it's going, they're gonna sit there and do that. Take the money.
Okay, I make a motion, be it hereby resolved that the North Branford Town Council, based on the availability of funds from the original bond resolution for the STW roof project, votes to adopt the resolution entitled, Resolution Amending a Resolution Appropriating $2.8 million for the planning, design, construction, installation, and replacement of the roof at Stanley T. Williams Community Center, and authorizing the issuance of $2.8 million bonds of the town to meet said appropriation, and pending the issuance thereof, the making of temporary borrowings for such purpose in its entirety.
Do I have a second? Second. Okay, the motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. Just a reminder on this project, the total cost that was bonded was 2.8, but we received 1.6 million from the state to go towards this project, which covered the roofing of the project. And we bonded more in case there were any other additional costs, and also to cover carrying costs.
So how much was it, 1.2 left? Or is it 500?
No, well, it would be roughly $800,000 on there. If you take the 1.6 off of the 2.8, so
That's 1.2.
1.2, but I don't think there's 1.2 that is available, right, Anthony?
Hold on my file, I'm sure, no.
Okay.
Interesting.
Total we spent about 1.5.
And that includes all of the architectural fees and,
That's the bigger erosion cost, the silt down roofing cost.
This was in our packet.
okay,
So there's 1.3 left?
roughly 1.3, yes.
Okay.
So there's a whole list of items
I
that.
saw the items.
Right, which at this point in time, once we move this project over to permanent project will oversee
Okay.
these, all of these things, and Park and Rec has 2 members on the building committee.
Okay.
That
I got it. I'm
work
good.
with them. Okay. So we voted on it. Yes. Okay, next item is review and approval of library job descriptions.
Good evening, everyone. Lauren Davis, Library Director. Before Rory joins me up here, I just wanted to say a quick thank you to the Town Council and to the Town Manager for recognizing Donna Wiedemann for her many years of service to the children and families of North Branford. It's very much appreciated, so thank you for doing that. Before you, you have updated job descriptions for our 14 part-time non-union library workers and our 5 full-time union member librarians. I'll start with the part-time job descriptions first. We currently have 3 different classification levels for our part-timers, but they all share the same job description. So we are putting to paper the different qualifications needed, the different knowledge, skills, abilities, the different roles and responsibilities for something that we are currently doing in practice, but we don't have separate job descriptions for them. I'm realizing it's also coming in to importance when people are trying to be promoted. There's nothing that outlines how you can be promoted or upgraded to the next level. And the 5 full-time librarians share one very outdated job description, which we are learning as we are trying to recruit new librarians. We have a position that was just filled with our children's librarian. The job description basically says everybody does a little bit of everything, which is not the case. Libraries have evolved in the 25 years since that job description was written, so I've made it that they're more focused on their area of service or their area of specialty. So you'll see that the one job description went from just the title of librarian to children's services, adult services, and technical services. So essentially before you are 2 job descriptions that are being updated into 6 different ones. 1 for the 3 part-timers and then 1 for the 3 full-timers.
Okay.
I can make the motion.
Yep.
To approve the job descriptions as presented for 1 adult services librarian, 2 children's librarian, 3 technical services librarian, 4 library assistant, 5 library technical assistant, and 6 library technician.
Make them second.
Okay, the motion was made by Councilor Diamond, seconded by Deputy Mayor McMillan. Any questions?
I just one comment. I think they're great, but the only thing is, based on what our town manager has told us, you need to change the
logo on the top.
The logo.
We've already spoken.
It's the old logo.
Emblem.
Emblem, yeah.
Yes, the
Emblem.
The emblem.
It's the emblem. Yes.
Very
Please
doable,
note
right,
that.
Rory?
I mean, I think you
Thank
guys
you.
do a wonderful
Thank
job
you.
in this
You
community.
do a great
Certainly
job.
do.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, now we can hopefully carry on and be in 2024 as opposed to 1997. So,
Nice.
thank you.
There's nothing wrong with 97.
Good year, you know it.
That's right, I do.
But we've come a long way. So, thank you very much.
Okay, so the motion has been made and seconded. Any other questions or discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. Okay, on to item F, approval of revised high school dedication plaque. Okay.
Yes, so, Madam Mayor, this item is appearing back before you, as I noted in my memo to the council. After the council had approved the plaque in December, I noticed that there were a couple of individuals that were on the Board of Ed during the period of time in which the project was approved and now, who were not included. Permanent Project Building Committee had approved the plaque previously, and of course, they have representatives from the Board of Ed on there, and I think the presumption was that they had represented those interests. But noticing that, I did a revision. It also went back to make sure that they're included. I also included members who were on the town council afterwards, Deputy Mayor McMillan, and then Vincent Mace, who also happened to serve on the Board of Ed during that period of time. So the idea of this whole plaque was to capture everybody who, from the approval of the project to the completion, was involved. So in doing that, I wanted to make sure that those names were captured, and that's why it ends up back before you tonight, just to get your approval to make sure that everybody's captured. I did review all these with the town clerk, just to make sure I didn't miss anybody during that period of time from the approval, and we've got everybody. Further, the Permanent Project Building Committee met last night. They made a couple of recommendations, which are before you, which I gave an additional memo to you too. They wanted to include Public Works Director Fran Marola, which I think is a great idea to include.
Franny has a lot invested
Absolutely.
in this project.
Perfect to include him in the project plaque, and I'm sorry to say I didn't think of it myself. But he certainly should be on there. The other was to remove the former town manager, Michael Paulus. He was involved at the onset of this project, so I do think it's appropriate to keep him in there. But that's submitted for your approval tonight.
If I'm there, it should be there. Just saying. I don't care.
Okay, so Deputy Mayor McMillan has made a point that when he was on the Board of Education, he was part of the permanent project building
You're gonna put me on
committee.
the board, I mean, I don't know why you're gonna put me on there twice.
You're there already, yeah, you're the town council, you're the deputy mayor. Yeah.
I know, that's what I'm saying, I'm on there twice, so
It-
I don't really need to be on there twice, but,
Well,
yeah, it was on the, I was on
you
the
did
3
bring it
years.
up to me.
What do you wanna,
Oh,
be
so
on
we
there
should
3
we-
times?
No, I'm
He
just
wants to
saying,
be
it
on
doesn't
three
make
times.
sense why I'm on there
Yeah.
twice, if I'm already on there.
Wait, I'm missing it.
Oh, so we should take you off the Board of Ed?
Yeah, you want to
all
be
together.
2 times.
Jeff, I didn't see that. I'm like, what? I
Yeah.
didn't see it over there.
So
Fine,
just,
but
You can take my place if you like.
You're right.
so,
4th or 5th, maybe.
I was thinking I
Town
should be on there
class
for
five.
past deputy mayor, right?
It's repetitive, but it's
Yeah, no, I agree.
inaccurately repetitive.
okay, so do I have,
bigger plaque?
do I have a motion to approve the plaque design as presented in our, that was at our desk tonight? It's been updated to include all members, and to add the Director of Public Works.
But not exclude Michael.
And not exclude Mike Wallace, no.
So I have a question though.
Mhm.
When I look at the members, is that accurate? The members of the town council?
Yeah.
Yes, you mean as to who was on during this time frame?
Yeah.
Yes, because Lou Paternoster was on, and then Tara Downs took his place when he passed. Joe Fawnin was on.
Al wasn't on?
I think,
No.
That was
No.
right.
No,
No.
he was gone before that.
And what's his name? Anthony?
Anthony.
Candelora wasn't on there?
No.
No, that was before.
yeah, when the project was approved.
See how long you been?
They might have been on when we
They were not around.
were initially discussing it, but when we actually had to take the vote,
Okay, all right.
they were not there.
I did verify those with the town clerk, just to make sure we had terms of service from when the vote was cast, which I think was November of 21, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
And then going forward to now, so, you know,
Right.
everybody was serving on the council during that time frame.
Yeah, okay, now I actually remember the vote. It was in Norfolk.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was, yes. Right, okay. So do we have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve the plaque as presented by and reviewed by the building committee, along with having Jeff McMillan on there twice.
You take that out of the motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Yeah.
Are we removing Paulus? Or is he-
No, we're keeping.
Sure.
And we're keeping Jeff.
Tommy's taking his second.
No.
Yeah, because Vince Mace is on there twice. He's under the council and under the Board of Education. So,
Yeah, just,
yeah, we're,
yeah, okay, nice.
yeah,
Great.
okay.
Forevermore.
So is there a second?
Yeah, Tommy.
Oh, Tom, second?
He seconded it.
Did you?
Yes.
After all that discussion?
No, I,
He forgot his name.
Okay. So Marie made the motion and Tom seconded?
Yes.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstained? Motion passes.
And just so I'm clear, this is the version that adds Fran Marola, correct? And it does not omit Michael Paulus, correct?
Good job, recommendation.
We done yet?
Pardon me, I did, Jeff was talking to me. He
I
does
was,
this all the
no, I
time.
understand how that can be. I was just clarifying that the version of the plaque that you're approving, it does add Fran Marola on.
Correct.
But it does not omit Michael Paulus.
Correct.
Okay, very good, got it. Okay.
Okay. Next item is financial report of 2/29.
The remort,
The remote.
Did you bite your tongue like I did last time?
oh, God.
All right, so the report in front of you, very positive. The revenue projections continue ahead of prior year, 89.8% total compared to 87.3%. On the expense side of the house, also positive variances, 65.5% expended versus 68.9%. The big over expenditure remains the emergency management with the generator situation at the intermediate school, and I'm in contact with John regularly on it. And he seems that thinks the issue has been resolved. They're running it more frequently with the kerosene in the tank, and it seems to eliminate the gumming up issue and is running better. So aside from that, the report's unremarkable. If any questions you have, I'll be happy to answer them, but it's pretty straightforward.
Okay. All right. Next item is approval of tax refunds.
So moved.
Second.
Well, it was moved by Counselor Diamond and seconded by Counselor Abelson.
Wonderful.
Okay, all in favor, or discussion?
Anthony, on the tax refunds, is there a possibility ever to reduce those, or is that what causes that? Let's put it that way.
Many things. Let's look at specific ones. Many times, people overpay. People that pay online don't wait. They hit the button, and it doesn't happen like on a MasterCard instantaneously. So they hit it again.
Oh, okay.
Then they hit it again. And some people paid 3 and 4 times, and you're refunding the payments.
Okay.
A lot of times when people refinance their houses, it's the first guy will pay, the second guy will pay. There's always overpayments because of that. Excessive payments, certificates of correction. You may have paid for a car, but you sold it. You bring your paperwork into the assessor, and he reduces your bill. Therefore, you overpaid the taxes, and just refunds your money for that.
All right. I was just wondering if there's any, something that can be done to reduce it and reduce the amount of work because it's like double work, it seems.
Yeah,
But
it's amazing the amount of people that overpay their taxes. I don't have an answer for you.
okay. No, it's. I'll try next month.
All right, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstained? All right, and the next item is item I, is the STW renovation, moving the STW renovations projects to the Permanent Project Building Committee. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
A second?
I'll second.
Okay, so motion was made by Counselor Felicia, second by Counselor Miller, to move all of the items submitted by the Director of Park and Rec to the Permanent Project Building Committee. I just ask that, because they haven't been at Permanent Project, that now, moving forward, since this has, that the 2 reps be notified and get an agenda, so that they're at the meetings. And it's the director or her designee and John Onofrio from the Park and Rec Commission. Those are the 2 reps.
Got it.
Okay? All right, thank you. All right, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstained? Okay, motion carries. Next item is citizen statement and petitions. Any citizen statements? Okay. Next item is the town manager evaluation. It's continuing on with his evaluation, and it's a matter of compensation. So do I hear a motion?
Motion for go into executive session in regards to the town manager compensation continuation conversation.
Your motion should include who you want in executive session.
In my motion, we will include all town council members, town manager, town attorney. I think that's it.
Right.
Second.
Okay. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstained? Okay, we are going into executive session at 8:57. If anyone needs to take a little break while the room clears.
That shouldn't take long, right?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
For baseball?
Yes.
Yeah. No,
Let's
Okay, so we are back on the air. So the next item is item 15B. And I would like, do I hear a motion to increase the town manager's salary to $140,000 effective January 1st, 2024, and to increase it to $145,000 on July 1st, 2024.
Motion as stipulated.
Second.
Motion has been made by Deputy Mayor McMillan, seconded by Councilor Zampano. Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. Motion to adjourn?
A motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Motion to adjourn.
Happy St. Anthony's Day.
St. Anthony.
Mike, you can stay.
Oh my God, St. Joseph's Day.